Hello and welcome to Finnerty. I'm Joe Pinion in for Rob tonight. Well, deal or no deal? That is the question. After completing the greatest political comeback in the history of our nation, Donald J. Trump, the man who wrote The Art of the Deal, is attempting to close the deal of a lifetime. Strategic control and influence over the largest island on our planet, Greenland. Now, the political left has mocked the plan. The Danish have all but dismissed the idea, and yet both the liberals at home and elites abroad seem oblivious to reality that President Trump has been keenly aware of since he began his pursuit of Greenland during his first term. The next world war will be fought over natural resources, over energy independence, and the theater for that war will not be far-flung places in Europe such as Omaha Beach, or inaccessible regions such as the sands of Afghanistan. It will be fought right here in America's proverbial front yard, the Northern Arctic. And so, if you view the world through that prism, a Greenland or bust plan for America First energy independence and strategic dominance starts to make a whole lot of sense. In a world where failed American leadership has allowed the Chinese Communist Party to monopolize the rare earth minerals required to make every critical instrument of the 21st century, America's renewed interest in Greenland isn't just sensible, it should be non-negotiable. Especially when the same governing bodies in and around Greenland that mock President Trump's proposal have routinely entertained land lease and trade proposals with the Chinese Communist Party that not only threaten the security of the U.S. homeland, but give the Chinese Communist Party sanctioned access that's swiftly becoming the most valuable trading lanes in our hemisphere. There is a reason why Xi Jinping proposed building a polar Silk Road trading route through the Arctic corridor. And there is a reason why Russia, who has long made wild and reckless territorial claims over territory in the Arctic and all the natural resources that go along with them, have accelerated their efforts. Because a showdown is coming. And America has two choices: lead or get left behind. And whether we like it or not, the pursuit of a perch for self-determination in this particular arena, well, it goes directly through Greenland. And why? Well, it is simple. The ice is melting. That's not a green new scam. It's just a cold, hard fact. And ironically, in what can only be viewed as a self-hating, suicidal obliviousness, the same people who won't stop talking about the melting ice caps and the plight of the polar bears ignore the fact that when the ice gets thinner, Russia and China no longer need to take the scenic route to their front door. Now they can wave at the port of Montreal or attempt to repurpose Ellis Island in just half the time. And so all of this presents a serious problem, particularly since under the watchful eye of one Joseph Robinette Biden, we have watched the Chinese Navy grow to eclipse the size of the United States Navy for the first time in modern history. This at the same time that Biden's failed after-the-fact sanctions of Russia put Putin's invasion of Ukraine did very little except driving the Kremlin directly into the strategic arms of the Communist Party, with Russia now eclipsing Saudi Arabia as the leading importer of crude oil to China. And so here we are, folks, with these two once dueling nations turned strategic allies. They are now conducting joint naval exercises in the South China Sea, but more importantly, in October of this year, conducting their first joint maritime patrol. Where? You guessed it, the Arctic. So yes, the Prime Minister of Greenland can laugh and call Donald J. Trump's plan a joke. Denmark can turn their nose up at Donald J. Trump's plan and say Greenland is not for sale. But it is laughable for them to believe that when Russia and China show up, knock on their front door and say, we're taking your island of 58,000 people and the natural resources that come along with it, that they have a chance in hell without America's support. Donald J. Trump is asking Greenland to come to the table and help codify peace on equitable financial terms. China will not ask, and Russia, for those keeping track at home, well, they are already proceeding at rapid pace, breakneck speed, without an invitation. So yes, it would be a legacy-defining deal for Mr. Art of the Deal to put Greenland in America's column. But more importantly, it would be a nation-defining moment to take the steps required to shield ourselves from the prospect of the next Pearl Harbor, a 21st century Pearl Harbor. See, there are many reasons why the great wars of yesterday were not fought on U.S. soil. But the easiest factor to comprehend is clear. We have the greatest home field advantage of any prosperous nation in the modern history of the world. It is difficult to reach us, but it's getting easier. Russia has figured it out. China has figured it out. The past and future president of our great nation, Donald J. Trump, has figured it out. And those who claim they love freedom, they better stop fighting him and start helping him before the war we fought 2 wars to prevent comes to a town near you.